What's up, lads and ladettes? How are we all doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastically well, and welcome back to Lost Relics. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at what it's like playing Lost Relics without a pendant. Now, it's pretty straightforward if I'm 100% honest. Playing without a pendant basically means that you just don't have access to certain perks, and those certain perks are things like having the access to stash stuff from your adventure, like deposits things into your stash from your adventure at Adventure Pass. So if you have a pendant and you reach level 5, there is someone called Gabby that is waiting near where you go in for your adventures, and when you come out of your adventures, you can essentially deposit everything that you found in the dungeon for a small, very, very small gold fee. You can deposit everything that you found, and then you can go straight back into the adventure. But if you don't have that, if you do not have that, then you got to run all the way back to your stash. And if we have a look at any of the future stuff, right? So, one free raffle entry. I have no idea what the raffle entry is for. At level 25, you get to choose your resurrection location if you're a member. At level 36, you end up getting a 30-second speed boost at the start of each adventure, which could be pretty good. 48, you get an extra Emporium office slot. Level 50, you get a cheaper stash deposit at Adventure Pass, so you won't have to spend as much. Right now, I think if you're a member and you have to deposit, if you're a member and you deposit all your stuff into your stash, it's like 5 gold per item. And you at level 57, you get +1 Emporium office slot as well. Now, there are other things that you are limited with when you go, when you go on an actual adventure. You're limited to the dungeons that you can go into, but not just that, you're also limited on the amount of blockchain items that you can come out with. So, normally, if you were to find, 2 blockchain items in the dungeon, if you're a member, you can take those out, okay? Well, first I want to show you something quick. You can take those out, but since since I do not have an active pendant, that's a deliberate thing, by the way. Since I do not have an active pendant, I cannot bring out more than 1 blockchain item. So if by some fluke thing, I was able to find 2 really awesome blockchain items, I can only bring 1 out with me. But anyway, let's have a look. So when you do not have a pendant, you can buy the pendant using gold that you find, which basically means as long as you're grinding up gold and grinding up items in the game, you don't really need to worry all too much about buying pendants from the store, like the web store. There's going to be people that will buy there'll be people that will buy the pendant from the store just to sell because they want the in-game gold to, get XYZ item from the store, and then they'll end up using those items to increase their skills. Like buying a shitload of fish to increase their cooking skill, or buying a shitload of iron and coal, like iron ore and coal, or iron bars to increase their forging. And that is another thing. That's the daily stuff. That is another thing. Here's the skills. Engineering and forging, I can only do these 2 acts if I have my pendant membership. So if I was to come down here, right, to the engineering table, here's the engineering table. I have to buy a pendant. Even if I have the materials to do it, I need to buy the power pendant to actually do it. So you do, end up losing your ability to make weapons and armor and things like that. So you would have to buy that stuff. So there are a few negatives, but you can still grind up the gold. Oh yeah, and Gabby or Gabrielle, whatever her name is usually here. But if you are playing the game, if you're playing the game and you do not have a membership, right, you don't have a power pendant activated, the things you are limited to are anything that doesn't have a membership symbol. And there's something very, very sneaky when it comes to this stuff, in my opinion, right? So, let's look at the greens here, right? So, Isle of Arldenith, which is one that I really enjoy. There's not a lot of, like, there's no traps and there's not a lot of ranged enemies. But if we were to have a look at the Arcane Pits, there are traps everywhere and there are a lot of ranged enemies. Like these hood goblins, they can do some serious damage to you, right? So if you do not have a pendant, in the green section you are limited to a dungeon that is filled with traps and ranged enemies, which will end up, unless you're really lucky, you're going to be forced to take in some healing items with you. Right? Let's have a look at Visum Vaults. Again, you got like you got Necro Knights. You have Leech. You got Demon Wings. You got a whole bunch of different stuff. Vambats. Vampats are dickheads. Dreadlings. All that good shit. This one, it's a forest, but I'm fairly certain. Yeah, you got Vampats, you got these slithers, you got a lot of ranged stuff. So these, like, certain dungeons are just designed to fuck you up. Okay, certain places are designed to fuck you up. But if I was to look at something like Isle of Arldenith, one that I enjoy doing quite a lot, I don't heal at all during this one, because there's hardly any reason for me to heal. Like, if one of these guys get real close, then yeah, I gotta heal. Or if there's a ranged watcher, then, they might force my health down enough, but generally not. So you're very limited with what you've got. So if you've got some blockchain items, you could still do these and have no fear of losing your items if you die, but you'll just take more damage and you'll end up needing to use more of your healing items to get by. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into Ashwoods, because I just need to make sure I've actually got my stuff equipped. Yep. We're going to go into Ashwood because I do need to increase my scavenging and foraging. Now, if you want, you can, if you're playing the game and all that sort of stuff, if you want, you should see if you can get a bounty for whatever you're doing. Which I might even end up doing now. I might see if there's a bounty for this area. So what you could do is, as long as you're in this circle, you can abandon and you won't lose anything. Okay? You'll come out, because there are going to be people that go into the wrong adventure, or they go into an adventure and they've forgotten something. So as long as you stay in the blue circle and you don't leave the blue circle, like if you go and you're like, oh fuck, I've got the wrong one, you can leave. Anyway, I'm going to look and see if the bounty has anything for, whatevers. Alright, let's have a look at some of these. So you've got, this one will do real good. You got to kill Skeletors and you got to chop trees. Pine sap, I can get pine sap, grunt armor, grunt meat, and rune leather armor. Yeah, that'll work. I'll get bonus woodcutting experience, character experience, and the bounty bonuses. Now, if we have a look at the exchange for, like, bounty stuff, right, I am limited with what I can get. And I do believe that if you're a member, you can get more than this, as far as I'm aware. So that is something that we'll look at. So we're going to keep this video as a reference to what we can get for... as a, if we have a look, destructible, tradable, yeah. So pretty much all of this, none of these are, as far as I'm aware, none of these are blockchain items. Yeah, none of these are blockchain items, though they do require a blockchain item. That is fucking cheeky. You cheeky dick waffle. 3.5, like, the worth of 350 shadow stones for a virtual item. So blockchain items for a virtual item. That's a little bit fucking cheeky. 900 Shadowstone item for a virtual item. So Jesus. Oh man. A little bit of a pain in the pain. That's a little bit of a pain in the dick. Anyway, now that we have a bounty, we will fuck off out to where we need to be, I guess. Now, when you have a bounty activated, it's always good to look to see where would be the best place to do your adventure. So, we need pine sap, we need to chop trees, we need to kill Skeletors, and we need, like, if we had a pendant, we would need to get rune leather in order to make the rune leather armor and all that sort of stuff. So, rune hide, raw rune hide, and grunt meat. So, if we have a look at the Ashwoods, right? This is where we chop our trees. This is where we can get our pine sap. This is where we can kill our Skeletors, and we can kill runes in order to get the raw rune hide. The only thing they do not have are the grunts, and the grunts are in Forgotten Chambers and a few other places. I think the Teal Woods might have... No? Oh, Isle of Endrith. Yeah, you've got grunts at the Isle of Endrith. So, if you don't have any, like, grunt meat, then, you know, you can either buy it or you can just find it. But I don't need to find, I'm not going to worry about going to another one to try to kill, you know, grunts to get grunt meat. We're going to get a majority of our stuff done here in Ashwood, so we're going to hop in and we're going to play. And this run will probably take, like, 10, 15 minutes, whatever. And you probably won't see the entirety of the run, but if anything interesting happens, then obviously it will be in the video. But or if I have anything interesting to say or whatever's. But as it stands, there you go. There's one Skeletor. Now, notice what I'm doing. I'm doing a power shot. Now, like I said in the last video, whenever you're playing this game, you want to always be doing your power shots. Obviously, don't do power shots on destructible stuff, because there's really no point in wasting your energy when you could just destroy it with a standard shot. You know, there's no point. There is literally 0 point in doing it. Now, you also want to be walking around the area, unless you're trying to do these as quickly as possible. Sometimes the foraging opportunities will not show itself until you're a little bit closer, so you can walk through a room and, like, straight up the guts of the room and not see the like a tree or a shrub or something like that but you know, you go back and you walk around and you'll see it. And I mean, that's just the nature of, I think that's just the nature of the game. Like, sometimes you'll see it, sometimes you won't. I didn't even see that guy. He blended in with the grey way too easily. Way too easily. Got ourselves a tree. Now, we probably won't have to heal all too much in this one. We might have to use one of the trouts, maybe. I don't think so. A good rule of thumb is to take in some trouts, though. Unless you've got a relic that can heal you up. Like, one of the... like the adamantine cookie, like if you're in the rares. Or, you know, something like that. If you're doing the blue dungeons, then... you know, having the adamantine cookie, if you can afford it, is a good idea. Some quail eggs. So I'll probably have to go through here a few times in order to get, like, the pine sap. But we'll also need to do a good amount of time in order to do the chopped trees, because we might get 9 or 10 trees out of this. I reckon maybe 9 trees. Maybe some more, but on average I tend to get around about 9 trees from a run. And remember to be kiting your enemies as well, right? If you're going to be doing this, remember to kite your enemies. But anyway, I'm going to get through this dungeon. Hey, there's some pine sap. I'm going to get through this dungeon, and if anything cool happens, then you guys will see. But if not, I'll be able to show you guys what I got after the dungeon. Alright, we're coming up to the end of the adventure here, and as you can see, I've gotten a good amount of stuff. Let's see what's in this box. Let's see, so we got 260 gold from that. Now, I'm not sure how long I've had this bow for. I basically bought a bunch of common bows. Yeah, a bunch of these pinewood bows. As you can see, they cost like 637, and they tend to break after the third adventure, generally, so I need to keep buying them, right? But if we have a look at some of this, like, if we have a look, we got 260 gold from that. This rune hide we could sell for between 100 and 150. These Indamar vines we could sell for between 250 and 285. And just off of these alone, right? Just off of these, we've paid for one bow. So, you know, when it comes to playing this game for free, like, when it comes to playing the game and you don't have any blockchain items, so yeah, Pinewood Bow has shattered and is beyond repair. So what we would, if we did not have, we can claim our daily thing, we still get our daily stuff, which is good. So that wasn't that much by way of, you know, small little barrel of gold. So, if I wanted to, if I didn't have any other bows in my inventory, I could go and, you know, throw this stuff in my stash and then sell these Indamar vines and this rune, raw rune hide, because I don't have my pendant, so I can't use it to do things like the engineering and, you know, and all that sort of stuff. So I can't utilize it. But I could, in theory, just sell this stuff, get another bow, and by the end of the third one, by the end of the third adventure, I should have more than enough stuff, more than enough gold to, you know, get another bow and have, you know, 1 to 1.5k gold extra. So you can build up your gold supply and then buy a pendant. You don't need to go onto the store to buy the pendant. Of course, it is subject to availability. Like, from what I was seeing, and I'll just quickly go there. If we have a look at this, right? So, even the 90-day pendant has, you know, had at least 2 come on the market within 24 hours. So, generally, if you put a bid to buy one of these pendants, whether it's a 1-day for, you know, 25k, or a 7-day for around about 8k, 30-day, I'd pump this up to about 110k, just to be sure that if one comes in, I'll get it. And or even the 90-day for like 480k. Like, if you've got the gold, then you don't need to buy it, because these generally will be in stock. There will generally be these pendants flowing around, because a lot of people will be using the pendants that they buy. They'll be selling it to get the gold, right? So they'll buy like, I don't know, they'll buy like 2 30-days, and then they'll sell one of them so they can get extra stuff, right? Because there's going to be a lot of things that they would require that they might not necessarily be able to find. So just a thing to keep in mind. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, ladies and gents. I just wanted to show you guys some of the stuff you can and can't do with if you do not have a pendant. So you could still play the game just fine without a pendant. You can, like, it's literally, you know, there's not an issue with it. You obviously are limited to the dungeons, like the adventures that you can go on, so you will be limited to what you can do when it comes to that. But it's still not too big of a deal, so yeah, I'm going to be leaving it there for today's, ladies and gents. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one.